Hugh, I'm tired of something. I need to get off my chest. Well, let me frame it this way. A.J. Brown is a tremendous football player, and he's been a tremendous Eagle. But you ever feel like enough is enough? I got to be honest today. As we go through a whole day of this, and we're going to go through a whole week of this until he speaks, I'm tired of it. I am getting tired. No, I am. I'm getting tired as a fan, I'm getting tired of the A.J. Brown passive-aggressive, complaining, diva nonsense every other week. I understand that he wants to contribute.
Yes.
I understand
big time.
He is a player that
is a phenomenal player.
Phenomenal player. And he feels like his contribution is when he dominates and he gets catches and touchdowns and yards. I understand that. He's a receiver. We've seen a million receivers, and they all have a little bit something off about them, which especially the great ones, that makes them great. That's fine. And I appreciate how much he puts work in, and he wants to be great, and he wants to put up numbers. But can we take a step back for a second on this A.J. Brown thing? We're spending all this time talking about him, and there's concern out there, and I feel it with you, that this is going to end the relationship between A.J. Brown and the Eagles. We're in the middle of winning 20 out of 21 football games. This is the best run in Eagles history. And this guy continues to make himself the story. Not the team, but A.J. Brown continues to make himself the story. I'm tired of it. On Sunday, they threw the ball to him 9 times. And in fact, if you go look at the last 3 games, they've given him targets. Week 1, I understood why he was probably frustrated. He had 1 target. It came with 58 minutes into the game, right to the end of the game against Dallas. The last 3 weeks, 8 targets, 10 targets, 9 targets. Dude, they're throwing you the football. So the ball's being thrown his way. I can't control it. He is not catching it, and Jalen's not connecting him, but they're throwing the ball his way. They're winning games. Mm-hmm. They've won 20 out of 21, and we have to do this passive-aggressive. Just come out like an adult and talk to the person that you're frustrated with. This is childish stuff. The fact that we got to go run to X or Twitter or whatever the heck people call it these days, and we got to post things, and we got to have books on the sideline. If you have a problem with the head coach, talk to him. If you have a problem with the coordinator, talk to him. If you have a problem with the quarterback, which it probably is, talk to him. Enough of this stuff. This is the best era in Eagles history, and A.J. Brown is hijacking it because he's in his feelings. I'm tired of it, Hugh.
Can I play devil's advocate just for a minute? Because I got to go back and watch the games. How many of those 9 balls were catchable balls?
I don't know. Maybe 3, 4, 5?
3 or 4?
5, maybe.
Okay.
But that's why is that my problem?
Well, no, I'm just
go talk to the quarterback.
I'm just asking.
Like a grown-up.
Don't yell at him.
I'm sorry. I'm not going to stand up. I'm taking out my frustrations on A.J. Brown on here.
I mean, I get it.
No,
it's not. Stand up today.
I might stand up.
No, it's not a problem.
I'm tired of it.
I get it. But, and I'm not absolving A.J. Brown from the way that he's acting, but you have to understand this. Every NFL player, to a certain extent, is kind of selfish. To a certain extent. It's just that behavior is probably displayed more in the receivers than any other position out there. I mean, it's just the way they're wired. The man's name is always open. And what drives him. What drives him is being a dominant force in football games. So how do you appease that and still play within the frame of the offense? I think there's a way to do it. For whatever reason, it's not being done. And I think in order, it's not so much to me, it's not so much appeasing him. I mean, it kind of is, but you gotta figure out a way to incorporate them into the passing game because
9 targets.
But you got to figure out a way to incorporate him better in the passing game because we've all stated that if we want to go back to the Super Bowl, this is not sustainable. This running game, the way it's going, is not sustainable.
Yeah, right.
The passing game, the lack of passing game is not sustainable. Mm-hmm. So there's a way that you can fix this. The way he's going about it, I do not condone that. But I mean, when you look at this team as a whole, is he wrong? I mean, is he wrong? Like, he's wrong for going about it the way that he's going about it.
That's what I'm annoyed at.
But is he wrong, though?
Well, okay, I don't know. I mean, I'll say that way. I think there's certainly elements that you're saying he's definitely right about, right? They need to throw the football better.
It's disjointed now.
It's totally disjointed. And he's right to sound alarms if he feels there's alarms on that. But there's a way to do it like a grown-up behind closed doors. Like Devontae Smith, I know he's not quite A.J. Brown in terms of their career and how great they've been in the NFL. Devontae Smith's a very good receiver. Devontae Smith had 2 targets on Sunday. You think Devontae Smith feels great about the offense? But Devontae Smith's a grown-up.
Yes.
He goes to work, he does his job, and he goes about his business. And I'm sure within the meetings, he has the gravity in that locker room to say something, to say to Jalen, like, hey, man, I'm open here. See me. Or whatever they're feeling. But he doesn't have to run to social media like he's 16 years old. Like, this is...
That's I'm not condoning...
It's childish. Like, now that I look back on it, because I'm annoyed today, now that I look back on it, the book thing was really ridiculous. We made it out to be like, oh, he's just trying to keep his mind right. Shut up, man. It's not his mind right. He's making a spectacle of the Eagles while they're winning football games because he's not satisfied. That's what it is. Has anyone ever seen a receiver read a book on the sidelines? It's totally disrespectful to your teammates. He did that. He was screaming it 3 years ago when they got to the first Super Bowl on the sideline during a playoff game. They won by like 30 points against the Giants. This guy is a really good football player. But this is a distraction the Eagles don't need. Like, when is enough with the A.J. Brown passive-aggressive stuff? When?
When is enough?
When is he going to grow up?
I think that's a lot to ask. Because I'm still struggling with that to this day.
I know.
That's a lot to ask. I mean, to grow up. But
at least you have a platform now where your childishness is almost welcome.
That's a tall order.
Yeah, but you found the right second career.
Because I'm sitting in the room and we're doing the meeting. I'm trying to figure out different strategies to hell divers.
Yeah, you are.
I'm trying to figure that out. Matter of fact, if anybody out there play hell divers, we need some hell divers.
With you, it's endearing at this point of your career.
You say old people stuff.
Yeah, it's endearing. But with A.J. Brown, it's not.
It's an offensive player's drama. It is because I feel A.J. to a certain extent. Now, when I say that, listen to what I'm saying, people, because y'all quick not to hear exactly everything that's being said.
Listen fully and then disagree with you.
Yes, listen fully. Yeah, there you go. A.J. Brown sees himself, in my opinion, as a Hall of Fame caliber player, which he is. And I feel like he is feeling like this is hurting his Hall of Fame bid. I'm a firm believer. Listen, you could get the ball to A.J. Brown early enough in the game, in certain aspects of the game, where this doesn't have to be a problem. It just feels like there's a lot at play here. It could be the quarterback.
Right.
The quarterback missing certain things. It could be the play calling. It could be a whole bunch. This is not just one thing, in my opinion. It's a bunch of different things.
I agree with you.
And it's a perfect storm because Saquon's not running the ball like he's supposed to, but they're winning.
Right.
And the thing that I talked to other people about this, man. And by the way, nobody wants to, talk about this on record. Everybody like, nah, dog.
Well, that means there's something going on. When people are like, I can't touch that one.
Listen. Because let me tell you, full disclosure, I'm not going to use any names, but Kyle called me last night, and he had a list of names of people that he wanted me to try to reach out to.
Don't put this on me.
No, I'm just saying. No, because we're getting ready. We're trying to get ready for the show.
Let's blame the person who deserves blame, AJ.
No, we're trying to do the show. And so Kyle said, hey, do you think yada, yada, yada want to talk? Da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
So I say, okay, I'll reach out. And to a man, I send text. I get calls back. Like a couple of calls I got back on air. And they're like, hell no.
I'm not talking
I ain't
about
touching that. They was like, dog, that's all. There's like, this is what you do for a living. I'm not touching that. It's just unfortunate.
You deal with it.
Yeah. It was like you do it.
Well, you know what?
Hey, I was told, hey, bro, you already doing a good job. Don't even worry about it. I don't even want to be involved with that.
But like that's, as fans, we have to deal with this. The Eagles are the best team in pro football. They've been that since about 1 year ago. They're in the best run the franchise has ever had.
Yes.
And one person always seems to be annoyed. It's annoying watching it as a fan. And I think you're right, Hugh, that he probably looks at it like, this is hurting my legacy, my Hall of Fame credentials. Well, dude, what matters more to you? It's at some point in whatever we do for a living, contributions over credit, like you got to decide what matters to you. And it feels to me, the more it goes on, what matters to AJ is how he plays, not the scoreboard at the end of the game. Because otherwise, what are we complaining about?
Can I play devil's advocate once again?
No. I mean, you can. Go ahead. Sorry.
But because I seriously sat up last night after I made these phone calls and nobody decided to come on air with us.
Yeah.
I started thinking about.
Is that about us or AJ?
No, it was about AJ.
Okay.
It was like, hey, nobody touch that. But no, I started thinking, and I'm trying to get in AJ's head. Like, I know a lot of people aren't going to understand this because a lot of times we don't want to try to understand it. We just want to say, oh, you're a malcontent, get him up out of here, instead of understanding and trying to appease what really drives him. Now, we've been saying it, but we haven't said it to the level that he's saying it. This team should be dominating.
Yes.
With this offense.
I agree.
The offensive weapons that we have, the running back that we have, the offensive line that we have, we should have at least blown these teams out 30-plus points every week.
I would say this past week it should have been a blowout. The Dallas game, they should have won by more.
And that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, it's true.
So I think that part of the reason why he's frustrated is because that's part of it.
And I can appreciate someone who wants perfection.
Yes,
but do it.
That's what he is.
Then we could do it in a grown-up way. This is not a grown-up way.
And that's the thing. And again, not absolving him from the way that he's acting, but I'm trying to look at it from a perspective where, he's looking at it, and it's more like we're better than this. Yeah. And we're not playing to that potential.
Then handle it the right way. Let's hear from someone who's been through this before in a major way that we all remember. Donovan McNabb yesterday on the afternoon show, his thoughts on the A.J. Brown situation.
One thing that I don't do is I don't try to break down cryptic messages.
Right.
If you're going to say something and you've already wasted, extended the energy of typing this, then just say what's on your mind. Like the whole deal, and I try to, go back to everything that I've been seeing. The whole reading of the book on the sideline, when everybody laughed and joked and all of a sudden the book sales went out. That ain't something that I'm used to seeing on the sideline. And coaches, when I came up and that's disrespectful to the team and coaches. And so now the tweet game is starting to come into effect. Where I'm sure that's a conversation that somebody's having in the building. Like I don't know what you meant by that. What did you mean by that? Somebody needs to ask that. Like, what did you mean by that? Really, to be honest with you, and I think where we are in today's game and where these guys are of just being, want to be free and have their own podcast and do all this other stuff where they're talking, that type of stuff stays in the locker room. And when it comes out, it becomes a problem. Because I guarantee you this, if they lose this next game, they're going to go back to that tweet, and it's going to be, what did you mean by that?
I mean, Donovan McNabb's lived this, Hugh, in a significant way that we all remember. He knows what that's like when a locker room has some issues because of a wide receiver that's frustrated. And he's not wrong the way I view what he said there. Like, why does this have to become a public thing? Why does AJ have to make it a public thing? He doesn't.
Can I just say this? I love Donovan. That's my quarterback. But isn't it amazing how as we get older, our perspective change on certain things that we do and how we see things? That's the beauty of being in our twilight years and looking at the error our ways. Because I'm listening to Donovan say that, 50-year-old Donovan, and I'm like, damn, dog, you should have did that like 25 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
doesn't mean it's wrong.
With age comes wisdom.
Exactly.
I was about to say that. With age comes wisdom. And right now, AJ is in the throes of his Hall of Fame career, and he's feeling like that's slipping out of his hands to a certain extent.
Well, then, if that's what matters to him, at some point, I'm not advocating for this in the season. At some point, then go. You know what, AJ? Go play for the Jaguars. Go play for a team that doesn't go to the playoffs and get 13 catches a game and lose. What matters to this guy? Because I think we want to see the good in him, and we want to say, well, he cares about the team playing better. Does he?
Does.
Well, no. After the Super Bowl, that Instagram was about him dominating, not the team. It was about him dominating, and I question at this point what matters to him because they're winning every game.
Can I say this? Because, like I said, I talk to a lot of people, and I'm still in contact with a lot of people that are closer to this situation than I am. And me reading the tea leaves, it feels like it's deeper than football on some level. I don't know what that is. That might be me recklessly speculating, but the people that I've talked to, when I ask them specific questions about this, they say, hey, man, it's bad.
Well, you know what? If it's bad, the Eagles got to address it. And A.J. Brown continues to make it a spectacle. And he doesn't have to. Again, he can be frustrated, but he's the one deciding. No one's peppering him with questions. No one's forcing him and tricking him to answer something. He's putting tweets out. He's leaving the locker room if we're talking to reporters. This is all his doing.
You know what the worst part about all of this is that nobody's going to understand where he's coming from because you're 4-0. Because at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Well, exactly.
That's all that matters.
That is all that matters. All right, 215-592-9494. Are you tired of A.J. Brown's complaining? Yes, or are you like understanding Hugh over here, and you get it? Kyle, where do you come down as the A.J. Brown saga continues?
Well, and by my official diagnosis here,
yeah,
A.J. Brown is exhibiting what I like to call pledge-like activity.
Oh, is he?
He's right. He was right last year when he called out the passing offense, and guess what? He's right again. The only problem with this time is that they don't have the running game to fall back on. The offensive line's not playing well. Saquon's not getting the yardage that he was last season. The offense is not explosive at all. A.J. Brown is right about the offense. And you know what happened last time he called out the offense? They came right out against the Pittsburgh Steelers. We had the "that's what you wanted to see" game. And yes, that was exactly what we wanted to see. It's what we want to see again this season. Like, the passing offense has sucked. I'm sorry. It has. And, like, while it's annoying, and I wish that he just did it in-house, like, I agree with you. There were way better ways for him to handle it, but every single time he makes something public, it sort of forces the team to have to address it internally. So, he forces them to do it. So, if that, be the change you wish to see in the world, A.J. Brown.
Be the change.
Tweet through it.
And the change we want to see is him getting more involved in the passing offense.
It's hard not being petty.
He's saying what the fans have been saying since week one. Like, after the Dallas game, we're like, wow, cool. They won the game. Can we give A.J. Brown the ball? Can we get him the ball? And guess what? The best version of this offense, I think, that we've seen all season long was in the Rams game.
Agreed.
Where they were feeding him the football.
Agreed.
And he was making big plays out of it. He's still one of the best players on the offense, no matter what you want to tell me.
Okay, so agree on a lot of that. But sometimes self-awareness matters. On Sunday, when were they better? They were better in week 3 when they threw in the ball. I agree with Kyle. Last week, this past game, 2 days ago, the offense was humming in the first half when he wasn't involved. When they started forcing him the football, like, AJ, did you see the game we all watched on Sunday? You played in it. When they threw you the ball, we didn't have first downs. On the first half, when it was just Jalen distributing the football, we moved the ball.
There's a happy medium here, though. They can find better ways to get him the ball. Jalen can put a better ball on him, right? They had a couple deep shots that he just threw 20 yards out of bounds.
Yeah,
like AJ was getting open.
So then just go talk to the quarterback.
Right. Well, maybe instead of making some crazy haphazard adjustment at halftime, why don't they plan this week to get A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, for that matter, the football more? Okay. The feeding Saquon 25 times a game thing. Guess what, guys? It's not working. The offense looks like crap.
I agree to a large extent. They got to fix things. We know it. And it's okay for him to feel that. I'm just tired of every other week. Oh, no. What is A.J. Brown upset about now? Oh, winning again? Oh my, poor A.J. Brown. He might not go to the Hall of Fame. How about win another ring?